We are live with Lunch Break Live. Take it away, Thea.
Hi, everybody. I am going to be preparing a Sunburst Salade Composée, and that is a French salad style salad. And basically, what it aims to do is it aims to sort of deconstruct the salad so you can see each of the ingredients on the plate. So we're going to start with my favorite, red peppers, and you can do this by hand. This is like the easiest recipe. You just cut the pepper in half, and then you can rip little chunks of the pepper off, and that is the first ingredient of the salad. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take some cabbage, red cabbage, green cabbage. I call it the sunburst salad because it's a sunburst of colors. And again, you can also use your hands for this too. So it's like your inner child is coming out, and you're just going to tear up little chunks of that. And that is the second ingredient.
Wow, this is really truly bringing Eat the Rainbow to the table. I just love this. Thank you for joining us here on Lunch Break Live, and you're going to see how to make your own. Now, I can see that you have a few veggies there. Are we talking about just any veggies can go into here? Go for it.
Absolutely. So the other great thing about this recipe is it can literally be whatever you want, right? I mean, who doesn't love, I mean, we cook the same things, right? So who doesn't love the chance to use some creativity, bring some artistry to your food? So I picked my favorites, and this recipe really reflects my favorites. You have tofu, mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, peppers, cabbage, some steamed green beans, some carrots, and some sunflower seeds, and some balsamic vinaigrette. But you can really do anything. That's the most amazing part about this recipe.
All right, all right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We are live on Lunch Break Live, and as you can see, Thea's got some of her very favorite. Now, I want to remind everybody to eat in this season in your region if you are able to. That's one of the things that we are promoting here and forward. So just want to make that known. All right, so back to you, and you're literally tearing these apart. I love this.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be fancy. You can use a knife, your hands. I mean, the great thing about this recipe is I love it because I get to like embrace my inner child, that thing that as an adult you so rarely get to let out. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about just creating, it's all about whatever you want to create. So the first ingredient that I like to start with, because I call this a sunburst salad, is the heart of the sunburst, which is the tofu. And again, you can use a spoon or your hands. And what you want to do is you want to take lettuce leaves like this. So these are like the green lettuce leaves that you can get at a Whole Foods or anywhere. And then you want to start arranging the individual components of your salad onto the lettuce directly. So it's really, this again is really designed to emphasize each individual ingredient and its contribution and look to the entire thing. And then next, what I'm going to do is take some of the pepper that I put and maybe put a little around. So this is going to be like a sunburst of colors. So this will be the red.
Okay, now let's back up to that tofu because it looks like you might have even marinated it and cooked it before. Tell us about that.
Yes, so this is actually, I got this at Whole Foods for about $3, and it is lemon and pepper. But you can get regular tofu if you want protein. I just thought the lemon and pepper would work really well as a flavor with some of the other ingredients that I have.
Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. So, do you ever use kale?
Yes, yeah. I think, for this, you can really use any big leaf lettuce. The important thing, though, is that you have the entire plate or platter or whatever you use covered with the lettuce.
All right, so this is a platter, y'all. This is perfect for parties, gatherings, to get those veggies in. Absolutely. And, apparently that we are in a fiber crisis around the world, Thea. I don't know if you knew that, and that we got to get people, eating more plants, getting more plants on their plates. Okay, over to you.
And then this is the next ingredient. This is the cabbage that we just did. And so that's, again, it's going to create another little sunburst of color. Think about it sort of like a radiating sun. And then you just can put it wherever you want. It really is completely as much or as little as you want. And this is the great thing. So say you have a picky eater in the house, right? Say say you have a picky eater in the house that maybe doesn't like one ingredient but loves another one, right? So this is the great thing, because you can really emphasize some ingredients and take other ingredients out if they're not favored in your household. So for example, I want more tofu today, I'm going to add more tofu to the little beginning. And it's great because you can sort of go back, and it's very, very, very easy to prepare. All of these ingredients that I'm going to show you today, I got them all at Whole Foods for under $25. So it's very, very possible to eat nutritious and also eat affordably as well.
We are loving this. Are you all tracking? This is so cool. I'm just going to come in here and say hello, because we're always looking for fabulous ways to bring, salads, and also to encourage our family and our friends who are pre-vegans to get more plants in and on their plates. So this is so gorgeous. Now, what did you call it, and what inspired you to make this?
So I call it a sunburst salad. I came up with the name, like my dress. I really wanted to go for a sunburst of color. I feel like we're starting to get into the LA winter a little bit. And so things are starting to get a little more bleak, a little more overcast. And so I wanted to bring something exciting and a little bit of flair and color to the table, no pun intended. And this is actually really interesting. So I was born in France. My mom actually had a job with the French government at the time, and I was born in France. And so really this is like a love letter to the place I was born in, as well as, a great vegan meal that anyone can prepare on the fly. The entire prep for this took about half an hour. So it's very easy to prepare, and it's very easy to customize to whatever the needs of your household are, as I mentioned before.
Oh, okay, calling it a love letter to France just pretty much leads us into my next comment about you. You are an established writer. You've been working here in Hollywood for years, and wow, I know you've got some exciting projects. I don't know how much you want to talk about, but you're also a songwriter. Is that right?
Yeah, so that was like a whole other lifetime ago. Now we're on to the green beans. So you just place them wherever you want. There's no right way to do this. There's no wrong way. It's all artistic interpretation. But that was a whole other lifetime ago. So I started writing 10 years ago. I can't believe I've been writing a decade. It seems like just yesterday that I started. But I got my start actually in a recording studio in Boston, and I was working on my own stuff as well as working with other people. And so I actually got my start as a songwriter, and that's actually how I got into writing. I was encouraged to start songwriting just as a way to sort of distinguish myself, because I guess in the music industry there are a lot of people that either sing or songwrite, but there isn't a person that can do both. So that's sort of how I got my start.
Amazing. Okay, can we see what this looks like so far? Is that all
Yes,
right?
absolutely. So this is my little son.
Oh, look. Can you see it? Can you come a little closer? I'm just thinking for those that are on their various devices. Wow, it looks so beautiful. Okay, back to you.
And then that's the great thing about this, is that there's no right way to do this. There's no wrong way to do this. It's all up to interpretation, whatever ingredients you want to put on, and that's the best thing. And so the next ingredient that I have are carrots, and what I did is I marinated them in a balsamic vinegar that I made. So I took about 4 tablespoons of vinegar and 4 tablespoons, and that's just a regular tablespoon that you get at your house, and I put it in this little container, and then I put the carrots in, and then I also put a little dash of cumin just to really give it that earthy, really rich flavor that will help sort of even out the saltiness and the acidity from the lemon.
So
I will use a spoon because it is a little bit more intricate.
Yes. Well, we have a couple people who are curious about what dressing, but I'm sure we're going to get to that. What I want to back up to is you have never tasted a bite of animal flesh. You have been vegetarian, and then in 2014 you gave up dairy as well. Wow, that is incredible. So your entire life you have never tasted meat. That says something about you. Wow, look at this. So you marinated in. Tell us again what your marinade is for that.
So this is just a simple balsamic vinaigrette. But again, the great thing about this is there's no one right way to do this. So it really is up to interpretation. I just wanted to keep the dressing somewhat simple, as you can see, because everything else, there's so much flavor already. And so I didn't want to overwhelm that with a more complicated dressing. But the great thing about a balsamic vinaigrette as a dressing too is you can really add anything to it. So say you wanted a little more spicy, you could add Dijon mustard or some kind of seasoning. And so it really, again, it's all about customizing it to whatever your personal tastes are. And it's also about thinking, the great thing about this kind of salad is it really forces you to think about the plate holistically. So what kind of tastes there are, what kind of flavors you're going to be making. And so I wanted something simple, but of course, and so it's literally just oil, 4 tablespoons of oil, as I mentioned, and 4 tablespoons of vinegar. And the oil can be cooking oil. It doesn't have to be like the kind used to make pasta. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. And so it really is that simple, or you can make it more complicated, like I mentioned, by adding other ingredients.
I love how you're really showing how simple this is and how gorgeous and almost elegant and flavorful. Okay, now do we have anything else we're adding? I remember you mentioning a few extra
Yeah.
things here. I'm excited. Take it
Yeah,
away.
so as a child, I loved salads with sunflower seeds in them. So this is just this is my little like finishing touch. But you know, sunflower seeds, and again, these you can get in bags at a Whole Foods anywhere, and they're not super expensive. Some nuts are, again, you can use other nuts. It just depends on what the other flavors are. Some nuts are more expensive. This I got a whole big bag for about $3 at a Whole Foods, and then you just sprinkle them on. You just sort of sprinkle them on, and this gives it a little more texture. And then I have the last little touch, which is the dressing that I mentioned. So that is as simple as that, and that is kind of my take on a salad.
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. A comment was made that Julia Childs has nothing on Thea.
Oh my God, I'm so honored. You know,
You
I
got
was trying to think of something for your audience too. It's always important. I mean, I don't know about anyone watching, but I'm always so busy working that it's always been a little bit of a challenge for me to find things that I can make quickly that are still healthy but aren't super boring or generic. You know, I do like to have that excitement, and I'm sure everybody does. And sometimes simple really is the best. Sometimes you can't go wrong with just simple. And then this is what it looks like completed. So this is my little take on a salad composée.
Oh my goodness. Hold that shot right there. We're going to head out. Thank you everybody for watching. How fun was this with the writer, the songwriter, the extraordinary vegan, vegetarian her whole life, never had a bite of any animal flesh. Thank you so much everybody for watching. We are going to take it out on this shot. Wow. We'll see you next time on Lunch Break Live. Bye everyone. Thanks again. Thanks for watching.